What is going on, guys? Did vs. All Gaming with my review of Naruto chapter 698. Now, I do know that Naruto, it did end today, but I have been without internet for the last week or so, and right now I still don't have it currently, but I am using my cousin internet, and so of course, by me being lucky like this, I definitely want to catch up on my reviews, and with Naruto ending, that right there, what the first thing on my agenda, but I cannot just go to those last two chapters. I of course, have to review 698 first, because that chapter, it was definitely good and it was surprising, and we do see now that like the chapter itself is also with like Sasuke attack about to connect with Naruto, and we see now that like Kurama, he was thinking back, and for some reason this Kurama, he can actually remember or Shimuri's with like his other half, and I guess that right there, it does make sense because like obviously those two, are one being together, so it definitely makes sense that they would share, the same memories. But we see now that like Naruto, even though he could see Sasuke, attack coming right at him, he was not looking scared at all. He had this like the powerful gaze in his eyes, and that really goes to show like how far Naruto has come, and how far he has matured, because that right there, it was awesome. And so we see now that like Sasuke, his attack didn't connect, and we see Naruto, deliver this like very powerful blow that like sends him back. And we see now, both of them, like I said in my last review, they are definitely on their last leg. And we see now that like even Sasuke, like he is definitely struggling right now, because no matter how many times he might knock Naruto down, Naruto will always get back up. And like even Sasuke right now is telling him to get him a break already, because this right here is crazy. But obviously Naruto cannot do that, because this right here is who he is. And of course, right now he is like defining himself, and so that right there was awesome. But we see now that like even though Naruto did counter him, Sasuke is still planning on like attacking, and we see now that like even though Kurama, he was definitely cheering on Naruto, but even Kurama now is running low on chakra, but he did give Naruto like the rest he had left. And we see now for the first time Sasuke here, he combined his black flame with Chidori, and I gotta say that right there looks so freaking epic. I loved it. And so we see now the Sasuke, obviously he is charging in, and we see that now Naruto, he used the last little bit of Kurama's chakra to form this Rasengan. And we see now that like throughout the chapter, or at least in the beginning, we had Kurama thinking back on Naruto, and everything he said, and of course everything he has done till now. And so, and we see now there was this one page that looked so freaking amazing, and it was when, their attacks had collided. And so we see now, that afterwards, like always, whenever these two, like clash, in an attack, there's like this huge explosion, and once again, it seems like they go to some kind of, alternate dimension, but this time we did not get, a dialogue between them, because we see now that in the aftermath of the attack, it is now nighttime, and Sasuke, he is now waking up, and we see now that that both him and Naruto, they are right beside each other, and obviously like neither one of them, they cannot move, because their bodies are just so beat up. And so we see now that like that Sasuke, he asked Naruto why in the world he like did this to himself, like why does Naruto keep butting in every time Sasuke wants to do something, or continue to go down this like path of darkness. But of course there's no way Naruto would do that. But we see now that Sasuke, he actually really opened up here, and it was definitely nice to see that, because his character, it has been so cold for a very long time now. That was definitely nice to see Sasuke actually expressing himself for once, and that right there it was nice. And so what like Sasuke really wants to know, why in the world does why in the world does Naruto like keep chasing after him or caring about him so much? Like why? Because so many people, they have pretty much given up on Sasuke, but Naruto was always that one person who always considered him a friend, and who always wanted to save him. And so now we see that because neither one of them can fight anymore, they were like open up to each other. So that they were like good as well. And so Naruto keep it straight simple. He said it's because they're friends. But obviously, these two, they are definitely beyond friends at this point. Like, these two are definite brothers. Like, they're no doubt about it. You don't fight, you do not fight so hard for someone. You don't go through all of this, just to be friends. These two, they are brothers that are tied, beyond blood. Like, don't get me wrong, I will say that, Sasuke and Itachi, they had, a very nice brotherhood. But obviously, Sasuke and Naruto, like, they're a bit deeper if you ask me. But obviously, because Naruto always says that Sasuke is his friend, he's like, Sasuke wants to know what exactly does a friend, mean to him. But obviously, Naruto can't really explain it, but he does give him, this like simple answer. And he said, even if you ask me to explain it, I honestly don't think I really have an answer. It's just when I see you carrying that burden and going on about everything the way you do, somehow I just hurt. And that right there, it's pretty freaking crazy. And so we see now that like these two, like they are so close on this level like this, that even though Sasuke wasn't the one doing all this, doing all this evil stuff, it was causing Naruto so much pain, and Naruto could not ignore that pain. He had to do something, because obviously it would not go away, and he also wanted to save his friend, and that right there, it did, shock Sasuke. And we see now that like Sasuke himself, he was thinking back to when they were kids, and we see now that even back then, when like Naruto was all alone, and Sasuke, was that loner type as well. He still had his eye on Naruto, because both of them, they were always alone, obviously, and they lost everything. And even though Naruto did all this dumb stuff, for attention, Sasuke was not like that. But we see now that like even after that, we see now that like all these feelings that like Naruto was feeling, they were slowly seeping into Sasuke, and he thought that right there was like a weakness. But obviously, that right there was not the case, because he could feel like the love for his family, and he thought that right there, it made him weak. But of course, it also made him think about people that he cared for as well. And so we see now that at the same time, even though that right there definitely took some of the darkness, out of Sasuke's heart, like seeing Naruto like that, it still made him feel weak as well. And we see now that like Sasuke, he was actually jealous, because Naruto throughout the series, he was always improving, and we saw Naruto get stronger and stronger. And so we see now that like Sasuke, he actually he actually thought, or he began to see the shadow of a family in Team 7. And so that's why whenever he saw Naruto, suffering like that, he actually hurt as well. And that right there, it goes to show you that these two, they were always, tied like this. And that's why, Sasuke, was always trying so hard to kill Naruto. Because think about it, like these two, there are no other characters that are this deep besides these two. So it did make sense why Sasuke would try to go that far, to kill Naruto. Because even back then when they were younger, when like Naruto were hurt, Sasuke would feel it. I'm pretty sure, whenever like Sasuke was hurting, that's when Naruto was hurt as well. And so we see now that like Sasuke, he always knew that him and Naruto were like so similar. He just did not want to admit it. And so that right there, like this chapter, I feel like it gave Sasuke, a lot more development than Naruto. But like I said, it's still, a very good chapter though. And we see now that like, Sasuke, like finally admitted that he actually was jealous. That he actually was jealous of Naruto. We see now that like he actually thought that like Naruto would always walk in front of him, just like how Itachi did. And I'm guessing, Sasuke did not want that. And so we see now that like both of them, like once again, obviously, they were so tired that they had passed out. And we see now that when they woke up, they still could not move. And now it's actually, morning for them. And so we see now that like that and we see now that even though they woke up Naruto, he is still ready to go, and we see now that he actually still wants to fight Sasuke, but he wants to smack some sense into him, and that right there actually made him laugh. And we see now that like Sasuke, he actually admit that this right here, it was his loss. But we do see that it's possible that in the future him and Naruto might fight again, because right now right now Naruto said that damn fucking straight, I'll take on any time, and Sasuke said alright, I accept it. So it's possible that we could get one more fight between them. But we see now that like Naruto was saying, this right here is not a fight you can win or lose, but obviously this right here is a fight that they like have to have to like really settle things. So that right there, it was awesome though. And so we see now that Sasuke, he actually telling Naruto that he could let him die or kill him, because right now he could take his eye and like put it into Kakashi, and that right there could be a way for them to dispel Infinite Tsuyomi. But he actually wants to like settle all his debts with his own body. So that right there is obviously there's no way Sasuke could like die right now. And so we see eventually like as they were talking, we do finally see them, and we see now that like both of them, they actually lost their arms, and that right there was like a huge shock to me, because all this time I thought that like Naruto army got hurt in the fight with Sasuke. I never would have thought that like he will half of it. That right there was surprising. But obviously, like different here was the reason why they like really couldn't move, because obviously, if they did try, that right there could have made them bleed out, and they would have died from blood loss. But we see how that at the end of the chapter we have Naruto, we have Sasuke. I mean, he said shut it. Taki. I'm probably saying that so wrong, but apparently that right there, it's like a very that right there is like a phrase he called Naruto when they were younger. And so now we see that like Sasuke, like right now it definitely seems like he is safe from like the darkness. So Naruto definitely completed his job. But this chapter, like I said, was definitely good. Sasuke got a ton of development, and the chapter overall was like definitely like very enjoyable. So for that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. But of course, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And as always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.